Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about the first essay part, and the topic is school schedules. And some of the questions are: does your teenager get in a better mood and tend to do better in school when he gets enough sleep? Do you think schools should redesign their schedules to help students sleep better during the morning? And what would be the advantages and disadvantages? Okay, studies have found that teenagers need 8 to 9 hours of sleep compared with the 8 hours needed for adults. However, teenagers are not getting enough sleep, and some experts believe that teens' body clocks change during puberty, probably for hormonal reasons. The sleep-promoting hormone melatonin activates at different times in teenagers. These hormone levels activates later at night than it does for children and adults, and it remains activated later in the morning. So by the time the students get to school, these hormone levels are still activated, causing a lot of tiredness in our teenagers. The typical start time for most high schools at 7 a.m. make students complain that they can't get enough sleep in the morning, and this affects their performance at school. In fact, not getting enough sleep can cause a lot of mental, physical, and emotional problems. Like, for example, teenagers can present acne, insomnia, anxiety. Students can't function correctly at school. They find many difficulties to concentrate, to understand, to memorize, and even to keep awake in classes. The lack of sleep also affects their emotional state. They feel frustrated, irritable, and sad. And for those students who get behind the wheel, it is also really dangerous. They can cause serious and even deadly accidents because their awareness and time reaction is also affected by the lack of sleep. Some schools have experimented by changing their start time because studies have found that by delaying to the start of school by 1 hour and moving more demanding subjects later in the day helps the student to sleep a little bit longer during the morning, and it helps them to feel less tired in classes. They got better grades. There were less absenteeism and also less depression between the students. So as you can see, those could be some of the advantages that we could get from redesigning school schedules. But also there could be some disadvantages, like for example, schools may find many problems by changing their whole school system. Maybe they won't get enough time to finish all the planned activities. Maybe students may want to stay late in bed, and some other students may want to go to bed later in the night because they know that school starts later in the morning. So it is really important for parents, teachers, and teenagers to take the responsibility about the fact that teenagers need an average of 8 to 9 hours to function correctly. And especially for parents, it is important to talk about this matter with their teenagers and maybe make some suggestions for their lifestyle. Like, for example, suggest their teenagers to avoid napping after school, avoid caffeine after 3 p.m., set an awake and sleep time for every day and even during weekends, unplug television, computer, cell phone before going to bed. Also, read a good book or listen to quiet music or get a warm shower or bath in order to relax body and mind and to get the enough hours of sleep. Thank you for your attention. That's all.